Hey everybody, this is Jeff with AZ Boomer Adventure, and today I'm here to talk about my sliding doors. So I've had a couple requests from people watching my videos that can you please put out a video that can show us how you did the sliding doors in your camper. So I'm in my Coleman Lantern 17B camper, and in this camper, you have a cabinet here that stretches across and goes above the dinette. There's a dinette area here. Now, when you get the camper, when you buy it new, this doesn't have sliding doors. What it has is a panel here and a panel over here, and you have to reach inside to put stuff back there or grab stuff, and you don't really see anything because you don't know what you put in there or whatever. So it's kind of wasted space when it comes down to it. So what I did is basically put sliding doors. So the sliding doors is basically the old panel here. I've drilled a hole, put a knob on it, and then how it's held into place is there's a piece of wood on the bottom here and a piece of wood up on the top. So if I open it up, I can show you. There's a piece of wood that I put in down here with a little gap so that the door can slide in between it. And then I did the same thing up top, piece of wood here with a gap so the door can slide between it. Now what you want to use for that gap is you want to find something that's just a little bit wider than this door or the panel, and use that to put between your wood when you're putting your piece of wood in there. Now I had some old framing wood. I was building some frames, and I think it was 1x2 pieces of wood that I was able to trim down, and I think I made them about 1 inch by half an inch pieces of wood in here. You can go get dowling. You can go get different things at the hardware store. You can get some little pieces of pre-cut pieces of wood, or you can trim and cut yourself. But really simple, just basic piece of wood. And then what I did is underneath here, I used a nail gun with staples and just stapled it in and secured it. Now, it's not gorgeous under here. And when you're sitting at the dinette, you can see the little marks, but it's not too bad. And it looks fine from out here. So I don't worry about it too much. Having these is much nicer than a few little holes on the bottom there. I mean, the workmanship in these is not the greatest in the first place, and I find like lots of mistakes that Coleman did in building this, so it's just par for the course. Now, up above, the piece of wood is attached to an existing piece of wood that holds this top frame in place. So it's pretty easy just to staple a gun into that, or you could screw into it, whatever you want to use to hold these in place. It's fairly basic. You can use screws, you could use a hand, just basic nail gun, or I have a compressed air nail gun that I use, which made the job pretty quick and easy to do. Okay, so the knobs I purchased, I don't know, probably Home Depot or something like that, to match the hardware that came with the camper, that same sort of silver, and I think they match pretty well. I got 2 of them. Now the thing is, the panel itself, what you're going to do is you're going to push along the edges of the panel and carefully keep pushing, and you're slowly going to push it off the staples that are holding it to this frame. You don't want to go too crazy and push real hard all of a sudden, because you could break this panel. So just carefully, just keep pushing around the edges until you feel it's moving, and then you push it off the staples, or the staples will come out of the frame, or they'll come through this, either one. But most likely the panel will pull the staples with it. Then it'll fall inside. You're then going to pull the panel out of here in the middle part and pull those staples out. Then you have your panel. Put your pieces of wood in, top piece, bottom piece, slide the panel in, and then you're going to put your knob on. Now the knob, what I did is I think I came in about 3 inches here. And then I also centered it from top to bottom, because you want to come in far enough so that it closes all the way, and that you have a little bit of a gap here. Don't put it too far that way, because it will not go in all the way. So you just want to make sure, I like I said, it's about 3 inches in, and then center top to bottom. Now you put the knob on is the last thing you do, because you can't slide the panel in unless there's no knob there. If the knob is on, you can't slide the panel in. So you put the knob on last. And what you're going to do is you're just going to reach around and screw the knob in. There's really not much else to it. It's easy to do. Now what I also did is I put a strut in here, because I didn't like having to hold this open with one arm and grab stuff with the other. You want to be able to have both hands free if you can. Otherwise, I was using my head to hold the door up, which is kind of a pain. So I put a strut in. But the strut has a base that's round. You can see it's kind of round here. And so I had to, and the round part is wider than the frame. So you want to make sure you have a Dremel or something so that you can trim off the edge of this round piece, because you don't want it sticking out past the frame. So I had it sticking out past the back, and I marked it, took it off, and then I Dremeled it down so that it's flush with this side right here. Let me see if I can get a shot on the inside there. Gotta move some stuff. So if you look here, right here is where I'm talking about. It's now, I Dremeled this part off. It's flush with this. And now the door can open and close. Fairly easy to do. I wouldn't say it's a tough DIY project at all, but it sure makes life a lot easier to have these side cabinet doors open and close. Makes it so much easier to get stuff in and out. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Otherwise, remember, life is an adventure. This is Jeff with AZ Boomer Adventure, and thanks for watching.